Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Very clearly, very clearly.
Excellent, because I'm in the only spot in this house that has got decent Wi-Fi, which is my bedroom. Very good. Well, thank you for inviting me on. You know, I see this as a bit of a historic day where, you know, we're going to be launching a new era of the base shop of Roger and Anna Davis. And, you know, as we've gone through, you know, the last few months, just an unbelievable situation, which, you know, is it is what it is, I guess. And, you know, we can, you know, we can focus on, you know, we can focus on the tragedy of it, or we can focus on what I believe my good friend Roger would say we should do, and what we should go out and achieve. And Anna's asked me to come on tonight and kind of set the scene, if you like, set the vision, challenge you guys, and take you through a very short, simple process, which is going to help you achieve some goals and dreams that you had when you initially joined Genistar. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do me a favor for a moment, and if it helps, close your eyes. You know, some people tell me that closing their eyes helps with this. And think back to the time when you joined Genistar. Think back to the moment where you kind of said to yourself, yeah, this could be the thing. This could be my thing. This could be the vehicle to help me achieve all those things I've dreamed or secretly dreamed of doing, having, and being. And you know, if it's coming easy for you right now, you know, I'd like you to type in the chat, you know, one or two of those things. You know, maybe it was, you know, you just need some extra income to, you know, to kind of provide for your family. Maybe, you know, you'd love to take your family on a holiday and you'd rather not use a credit card to do that and pay later, but accumulate the cash right now to achieve that. Maybe you want to pay your mortgage off. Maybe you want to, you know, maybe you hate your job. I mean, gosh, you wouldn't be alone if that was you. And you think, yeah, maybe this is the vehicle that could actually help me go full time. Maybe whatever it is, you know, don't be bashful. You know, be audacious and declare it. You know, declare what it is that you know, said, yeah, I'm going to pay my £140 or whatever fee it was that you paid, and I'm going to commit, you know, a few hours a week to make this happen. Because by typing it and putting it in the chat, it's almost like you're releasing it there out into the kind of universe. You know, it's kind of like a declaration that all of a sudden, you know, you've not kept it inside, you're not internalizing it, you're externalizing it. So who's going to be the brave one? Who's going to be the first one to type something? Here we go. We've got Edwin has posted, be my own boss instead of being under one, spend more time with family. Absolutely. You and I got a lot in common there, Edwin, without doubt. That those two things were my biggest driving forces. Income for my family, fun holidays, seeing others be astounded by what the business can achieve. Very cool, Anna, very cool. Okay, so what about TK and Akusa? Have you you're going to be
coming a bit late. They've come a bit late, so they might not have got the
Akusa's here to get extra income for fun things. Very good. So fun needs the income. Very good. TK emergency fund. Yeah, that's a very sensible thing to start with. That's for sure. And Edwin's own boss. and more time with family. You know, that was me, getting up early, getting home late at night. It's 5, sometimes 6 days a week. And the 7th day, which was Sunday, you know, my nickname in my house was Grumpy Dad because I was tired from the week's work. And I wanted to change that, and I actually did. And so what you've done now is you've kind of visited that emotional reason why you made a decision to commit to, you know, paying your registration fee. And you went through a phase of like hoping that this was going to work for you. You may already still be in that phase of hoping that this is the thing that's going to make your dreams come true. So, and that's okay. We all go through that phase, sometimes for a long time. You're still hoping. I mean, I can honestly tell you that in my first 5 years, I probably felt like quitting every day, at least once a day, you know, and, you know, some of the challenges of getting through it, you know, just what the heck am I doing? There are easier things to do than this. But then all of a sudden something clicked for me, and all of a sudden 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 pound a year came in, and you know, we've managed to save and invest, and you know, and build you know, a family situation where if we wanted to, we could stop work and live off the income from those assets and investments for the rest of my life and my family's life. So we've got Anastasia's with us now. We've got a bunch more joining now. This is good. We've got Patricia and Reggie. Hey, Reggie. So Reggie, Patricia,
hi.
Anastasia. Hello there. Welcome.
Thank you.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to think back to when you were joining Genistar, and I need you to type in the chat the reasons why you decided to join Genistar. So Patricia, well done, Patricia. She's put a university fund. Is that for you or the children, Patricia? So Stasia, financial decision. I had to think all night through, more time with family and breaking the poverty string in my ancestry. Yeah, absolutely. Changing the family tree. Yeah, very good. Okay. TK, so extra for completing mortgage. Yeah, that was Arvin Burgos's reason for going for it. Edwin's got sponsor an orphanage in Cameroon. You know, these are really good, guys, really good. I thought this was going to be, you know, a little harder to get this out of you. It certainly is with my team when I go through this exercise, but, you know, you've all put something down there, which, you know, is personal to you and emotional to you. And that is you need to now say to yourself, right, I'm going to be coachable to the next step that Steve suggests. Okay. And what I'm going to ask you to do is going to feel a little bit awkward, a bit weird even. But I can give you my word, it will work. And that is, you need to go onto the internet. Hang on, we've got a bit of background noise going on here, guys.
That was Reggie.
Reggie,
she's muted. She's muted.
Sorry.
That's all right. Okay. So yeah, Reggie, you're the only one actually, Reggie, that hasn't posted what the reasons why you joined Genistar.
Oh, I've just posted it. I was actually reading it to myself before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Not being a slave to money, you know, absolutely. Harley Davidson bike. Now you're talking, Ed. One of my good friends owns a Harley Davidson franchise. So when you're ready,
wow.
I can introduce you to him. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he sells about 1,000 of them a year.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So so where was I? What was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, that's right. So what you need to do is you need to do the next step. And the next step is going onto the internet and finding a picture of your Harley Davidson bike, finding a picture of, if you type in picture of £50,000 in cash, would you believe it? A picture comes up of cash and it's 50,000. And
seriously?
yeah, absolutely. So, be creative and find some way of illustrating what your goal and what your dream is. And if you're coachable and you do this piece and print that picture off and put it in your home in 5, maybe 6, 7 would be awesome places where you can't help but see it even when you're not looking at it. So it needs to be in your peripheral vision. So ladies, put it on your dressing table, your shaving mirror, guys, put it as a screensaver on your phone, put a picture in your car, maybe, in the kind of the sun thing above your head. Just put the picture of what it is that drives you, that excites you, that creates a huge amount of emotion. And what you're now doing is you are doing an advertising campaign, an advertising campaign to your subconscious mind. Now, all of you have heard that we only use somewhere between 5 and 10% of our brain and the power of our mind. Yeah, we're not evolved yet enough as human beings to tap into the other 90%. But part of the bit that we don't realize that we can tap into is that and understand that our mind and our brain does things without even knowing that we're doing it. So I'll give you an example. Have you ever moved house and driving home, you accidentally go to the old house instead of the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done that, right?
Yeah.
And that's because your mind is on autopilot, because it's not thinking about the decisions that it has to make in order to get you home. It has those things wired in to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is a slave to your conscious mind. And it, once your conscious mind embeds something into your subconscious mind, it's in there, it's locked in. And that works in both words, so we call those affirmations, and it works in pictures too. Now, advertising companies are aware of this. They know, and therefore that's why they put pictures on the side of buses. They put pictures all over the place. In every opportunity, they'll put an advertising, a billboard on the side of cars, even lorries, obviously through the TV. They are impacting your subconscious mind, whether you like it or not. And why do they do it? Because it works. Yeah, the Super Bowl recently last month was selling the advertising space between at halftime for somewhere in the region of $10 million a minute. Why would they do that? Because they know there are millions, hundreds of millions of eyeballs watching the TV at that point. So companies like Coca-Cola, companies like Ford, who can afford that kind of advertising space, spend the money. Why? Because it works. So what about if you could do an advertising campaign to yourself, and you could choose what products, what outcomes, what images are hitting that subconscious mind? So get a picture. I'll use Ed's Harley Davidson because that's the easiest one to work out. Print off a picture, Ed, and put it somewhere that you can see it, in 7 different places, ideally, minimum of 5, maximum of 7, and so that your brain sees it like an advertising campaign all day long. Just try it. It sounds childlike, but it works. Remember when you were young, and when you were young, if the girls on the phone today or on the Zoom today, when you were young, you had pictures of your favorite pop star, on the wall of your bedroom, and you were going to marry him. And guys, you had your favorite football player, and you were going to play football like your favorite football player, and you have pictures on your wall. Yeah, all of us did that as children, but then as we became adults, we became cynical and miserable and beaten up, and like, this is not going to work, and we lost that naive kind of optimism that we were going to be something and be somebody and do something great. I'm telling you right now, Genostar can help you. We maybe not be able to get you to play football at a professional level, and you may not be able to marry a pop star, although I'm not saying anything's impossible, but you certainly can get yourself a Harley Davidson bike. You certainly can save up an emergency fund. You can certainly change your family tree. You can certainly build a fund for university funds. You can, all the things you want as fun. Now, if you write down as a goal fun and the income to do that, you need to be more specific. You need to say, well, what is it that would be fun? Yeah, and you need to go to work on that, because you've got to be careful what you ask for. You will get it if you advertise it enough to your mind. Okay, so there's the kind of the inspiration now taking care of itself, and you don't need your upline or your vice president or Jeff or Mark to kind of pump you up and fire you up to get going. You can do that to yourself. Yeah, you can be the motivator for yourself. That's how all the top people do it in the company. That's how many people in industry do it. They visualize through pictures and transform through affirmations. And in my team and my hierarchy, people know I will not work with anybody that doesn't do that, because if I have to pump you up and fire you up and get you excited all the time, sometimes it feels like you're pumping up a balloon without a knot in the end. But you're looking at your pictures of your goals and dreams all day, then that knot is tied and you're permanently inspired. So when you get one of those down times where I don't feel like making a phone call, you look at that picture, and all of a sudden now it makes you even when you don't feel like it, you make the call. So that's the first part. Now, what I'm going to kind of address here is that I think, am I right? Is everybody? Let me ask you this way: if there's somebody who's on this call tonight who's full time with Genostar, let me know. But if you're all part time, you can stay quiet. So I'll count to 10, and if nobody posts I'm full time, then I'm going to assume every single one of you is part time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Going once 9. Going twice 10. All right. So you're all part time. Now, here's the thing about being part time. All right. You've got to understand what being part time means, and there are 3 things that once you've got your pictures up, there's 3 things that you need to be aware of. Okay, the first one is your circumstances. So some of you are going to have more time than others. Some of you are not going to have much time at the moment, but things will change. And I'm going to give you some stories. All right, so we're talking, those of you taking notes, right, there's a heading circumstances. And here's a couple of stories for you. So when I met Arvin Burgos, 3 months went by and I couldn't get hold of him, and yet he qualified as a group leader. I think it actually took him about 4 months, right? 3, 4, or 5 months, somewhere in there. And he became a group leader, and I'm going, wow, this guy's amazing. And, I haven't given him any training. Ching did it all, and she couldn't get hold of him either. He just kept throwing the business in, kept recruiting people. And I'm like, wow, this guy's amazing. And when I spoke to him, I said, Arvin, you should do this full time. He says, nope, I don't want to be full time. I love being a nurse, and I'm going to be a nurse until I retire. So he was part-time. He did a bit here and there. He would go away for a couple of months and then come back and do some. And we wouldn't see him for about 2 or 3 weeks because he was on shifts as a nurse. Then we'd see him for a week and he'd write loads of business in that week. And that was basically his, his operandum, if that's a right word, probably isn't. And he did that for 5 years. And then one day he rang me and he said, Steve, I've changed my mind. I want to go full time. I said, what's happened? He said, well, I've seen my pension and it's only half or less than half of what I'm earning at the moment. And that's not enough. Also, they've shown me in the NHS that technology is going to replace my job and I need to look for a different department and retrain. And rather than do that, he said, I'm going full time. So I waited 5 years for Arvin to go full time. And that might be you. You could be a future Arvin Burgos, whose income now is over £200,000 a year. So, sometimes it takes 5 years. Then if you look at someone like Alan Palmer, when I met Alan Palmer, he lived in a tiny little flat. I tease him. I say, you lived in a flat with a flower pot. And that was about it. And I did his FGP. He was a client. He joined the business, didn't do anything much. I think he got to team leader in about a year. And but I knew his goals. His goals was to buy a house with a garden. He wanted to get married to his girlfriend at that time, Andrea, and they wanted to get married and have kids and provide for the family. So he worked really hard as a chef and occasionally made, I'd say once or twice a year, he wrote some business, usually a couple of grand each time. So he was in a good market. And he did that for 8 years, a couple of £1,000 every 6 months. And then 3 years ago, 3 years ago, he met me up in London for a coffee and he said, I hate my job that, I'm getting up at 4 in the morning. I'm getting home at 11 at night, 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week. It's affecting my health. I'm not seeing my kids. It's just, and he cried his eyes out in front of me. And I said, right, we'll put a program in place to get you to, in a position where you can go full time. Now, what we did is we went to work and we built a huge referral bank. He had 55 when we started. In 6 weeks, he was over 250. He went full time and he's now got 3,000 referrals. So he's got more places to go than he can cope with, which is a nice problem to have. So that was his journey. You've heard Arvin's journey. Ching de la Cruz was in Genistar for 18 months and she didn't do anything. And then one day she found out she's been made redundant. You see, her circumstances changed. John Lewis were letting her go after more than a decade. She sat down in front of me, scared out of her wits because her husband was not very well. He wasn't working. And she said, do you think I can do this full time? I said, sure. And she didn't believe me. But we went to work and within a year, she was a vice president. Now she's got a couple of £1 million worth of property, no mortgages on them, financially independent. She spends 6 months of the year, with her mum in the Philippines. She's done, she's cooked, she's happy. Yeah, she's financially free. And, none of those came out of the traps quickly. Arvin came out of the traps quickly. Actually, Arvin quit for a year, went off and tried something else, and then came back after a year and said, Steve, this is the thing I want to do, and I need to do it full time. So you've got your own story as they've got their story. The only difference is your story hasn't concluded. Your story hasn't happened. And the good news about that is that your story can be written. You can write your own story. And you can do that now. You can write your own story tonight before you go to bed. All you've got to do is just write it down, commit it to, when you write something in your own hand, it's kind of like a commitment. It's kind of like, this is a deep-rooted, it's not a goal, it's not a dream, it's a certainty. And it's almost like you're writing the autobiography before it's happened. And that's possible. You can do that. And get pictures of what it looks like and put those pictures up so you can see them. So, any questions, anybody, before I go on to the, well, actually, yeah, go on. Any questions at this stage on circumstances? You know, you feel like you haven't got time, you haven't got, you know, you don't know how you can do it. You haven't got the energy, maybe. What is it? Talk to me.
Steve, it's really, really awesome what you've said so far. But actually, this issue about circumstances, I was speaking to Anna earlier on, and that is one of my primary challenges right now. But I am so happy to know what you've said. You know, the various examples you've referenced, Alan Palmer and Alvin Burgos, and so on and so forth, and to realize that actually, you know what, you know, my story still has quite some time to run. But the question is, what is it going to be? And I guess that's what I really needed to hear. When I spoke to Anna, I was kind of thinking that, I hope Steve can come and give me some sort of magic formula as to how I can do this. But actually, I'm beginning to realize that actually, you know what, those pictures that you're talking about, and the dreams that you've made us to revisit are it's probably enough for me to go on. If I had those things hung up in the wall, I think that would certainly help. So I would personally just like you to, concerning the time issue, maybe you're going to do this later on. How do you coach up somebody who doesn't seem to have much time at all on their hands, to make time to do what they want to do?
Well, the first thing is you've got to identify what the goals and dreams are. And then you kind of reverse engineer it by saying, well, when would you like to? Let's keep it simple for you and for everybody, because, your particular goal, the Harley Davidson, is a very tangible thing. Yeah. So, Akushka's kind of gone, or sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, Akushka. Yeah. She's got, I'm assuming it's a she, right?
It is, yeah.
That would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? But she's put the word, I want to have fun. Well, you can't put a picture of fun up. You've got to ask yourself, what is it you'd like to do that's fun? So we've all got, for me, fun is, I love going to the movies, at a cinema, not in front of a TV. I love going to Anfield to watch Liverpool play. I take my, one or two of my sons there quite often to do that. I play golf, and I missed it because the weather's been absolutely awful. So I haven't played much this year so far. And so I know what's fun for me. Yeah. But sometimes a lot of people I talk to don't really know what's fun for them. Okay. So, a Harley Davidson, that sounds like fun to me, but probably to others, it might be, well, that's
a nightmare.
Yeah. Why would I want to do that? So it would be, I mean, I've got a nice car and it goes fast, and I sometimes drive it to France, and I can get up to speeds that I wouldn't be allowed to get up to speed here in the UK, and that's fun for me. So you've got to be able to identify what is fun for you. So using this Harley Davidson, when would you realistically like to buy that, Edwin? When would you like to walk into the showroom, write a check, or give them your card? Cha-ching, it's yours. Here's the keys. When would you like that to happen?
Well, to be honest, I have a target. I'll be 50 in about 3 years' time. So I have a target of having it by my 50th.
Okay. So how many months is that, Edwin?
How many months?
Yeah. So is that so? What?
36 months.
Okay. What month is your birthday?
May.
Okay, so it's 3 years and a couple. So it's 36 plus a couple of months, so 38 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you going to buy a new one, or are you going to buy a second-hand one?
Well, all I know is going to cost me about 10K. Whatever. What
10K. And what color would it be?
I can show you a picture of it, actually. You asked me to do that. Hang on a minute. Let's do this. You asked us to look for some images, didn't you? I did.
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
Which one? The one on the right?
Hang on, what's happened there? Can you see it?
They don't like you. Yeah, just go back one.
What's happened there?
They don't like you trying to nick that photograph.
Oh, I see. Okay. Let me do it again then.
Yeah, but leave it the way it was good. We could still see it.
Okay. Let me do it again.
So that looked black in color. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Black and silver.
All right, I'll show you now. Let's share it again.
You might have. Oh, there you go.
You see it?
Yeah.
We can see the one with the orange kind of stripe down the side. Is that the one you want?
Yeah, that's not the one there.
Okay. Well,
hang on a minute. I think okay, here it is. Yeah, you'll see it better now. That's it. Can you see it?
No, not yet. No, there it is. Yeah. So don't touch anything now. Oh dear.
It flashed before our eyes.
Let's do it again now.
Return to previous screen. I'll try this and then move on if it doesn't work.
No, it's not letting me do it. Anyway, you got a flash of it anyway, didn't you? So
we got a flash of it. So it's a beautiful picture. You need to print that off, put it in 6 or 7 different places, and that's 10,000. So have you got a calculator with you?
Yep.
All right. So put in £10,000 divided by 38.
Yep.
What does that come to?
263 and a bit.
263 and a bit.
Yeah.
Let's call it 265.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make it a little bit easier. Round it up to £300. Okay. So £300. And what position are you in Genistar? Your team leader?
No, group leader.
Group leader. Wow. Okay. So group leader. All right. So £300, divide that by 0.7 because you're on the 70% contract.
Yeah.
What does that come to?
429, say.
So 429. So let's round that up to £500.
Okay.
So, which is pretty cool because all that is a £41 policy, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you need one policy every month. Yeah, one policy in order to receive the commission you need to put that away to save up for the next 3 years for your Harley Davidson.
Wow.
Okay. So that means as a group leader, your skill level is going to be high. So you probably need 2 carrybacks done. No, I'd say 2 carrybacks booked. 2 carrybacks booked a month, which will be 5 scoops done. So you've got to book 8 booked. So you need to work 1 evening a week. And in that evening, Edwin, you need to book 2 scoops a week. So forget about whether you can do it, whether you've got the time to do it. The real question, Edwin, is how badly do you want that Harley Davidson?
Desperately.
So even if you don't know how, the 2 scoops a week booked into your diary, just it becomes part of your life now. Now, let's say you wanted it in half the time. Let's say you said, no, I want that in the next 12 months. I want to make that £10,000 for my 48th birthday. Yeah. so that by the time I'm 50, I could book a road trip, across the, I don't know, across the Route 66 in the States or whatever. You don't want to do that, straight away. You do a 50th birthday trip, 3 weeks driving down Route 66, because you've had a couple of years to, kind of practice driving the beast called the Harley Davidson.
Mhm.
If you £10,000 in a year, get your calculator ready, divide that by 500 £500.
Okay.
How much does that come to? 20?
Yep.
That's 20 policies at £500, which is the average company. Divide 20 by 12.
That's 1.67.
Okay, let's round that up to 2. So you're only looking at 2 carrybacks a month. 2 successful carrybacks a month. Let's call it 4 booked. That's so that's 8532. So that's 16 scoops done. So that's about say about 20. Call it about 20 scoops booked in a month. So now you're looking at 2 to 3 evenings a week to get your Harley Davidson.
Mm.
So you do the advertising campaign to yourself. You then see where the activity lies. Yeah, and away you go.
Awesome.
So even if things go wrong, even if circumstances get tough, it's somewhere between 1 and 3 years that you're going to get this goal.
Mm.
Yeah. So do you believe?
It's doable.
So now your belief is kicking in.
Yeah.
Here's the next step. Here's what I want you to do: is I want you to be coachable, and I want everyone to be coachable right now as well. Okay, whether you've got no time or whether you've got loads of time, it's irrelevant. We've all got the same amount of time in the day. Yeah, whether you're Jeff Letts or the new person that joined today in the company, we've all got the same amount of time. What we'd like you to do is we'd like you to put together a top 25 list. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those of you who are, how long, for example, Edwin, how long have you been in the company?
Well, actually, I registered 6 years ago, but I didn't do anything until just pre-pandemic. That's when I started the business, if you like. Yeah.
Okay. So back then, you'd have called some people and you'd have spoken to them, and they wouldn't have been interested, right?
Yes.
But you still have that name and number of that person that told you they weren't interested 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think their life and circumstances might have changed in the last 2-3 years?
Certainly.
Right. So what I'd like you to do is to make a top 25 list of those people, and Anna and I will give them a call on your behalf.
Okay.
Right. So we're taking away your excuse of time. We're gonna utilize our time.
Right. Okay.
Right? And it's in our interest to help you become successful, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We want you to get that Harley Davidson bike as badly as you want it. Okay.
Cool.
Because what Anna needs someone in the base shop who is what we call a rabbit. And then you need to be a rabbit. And I don't mean you need to go and get some silly costume and put it on and look like a rabbit. But what I'm saying is that we need someone to point at and go, hey, this Edwin guy, wow, he's amazing. Now everyone else's belief starts to rise when you start getting some success, and they all get to know that you're going to buy this Harley Davidson. We're all going to be there when you buy it. We're going to get a film crew. We're going to, we're going to turn it into an event. And
come back and have a barbecue.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Then you can give everybody a drive around the block in it, and we'll turn it into an event. Put your mind at rest. This is what we're going to say to those people that said no 3 years ago. Okay. I'm going to say, so let's say I'm speaking to Anna and she said no to you 3 years ago. Say, hi, Anna. It's my name is Steve Jenkins. Your good friend Edwin has asked me to give you a call. Okay. Now, at that point, they'll say, "Oh, yes." Yeah, assuming they know who you are and they remember you, right? And then we say, "Well, look, the reason I'm giving you a call is I was speaking to Edwin the other day, and I asked him who he knew who was good with people, liked helping people, and maybe open to something new right now. Now, I don't know if you're interested at all, Edwin. Am I calling Anna or am I calling Edwin? I forgot.
Anna.
Anna, sorry. Anna, I don't know if you're open to anything right now, but I'm looking for some people who'd like to teach a financial education program that genuinely helps people with their finances. And typically our part-time people receive between £1,000 to £2,000 a month, working just 1 to 2 evenings a week part-time. And if you have an interest, I'd like to send you via WhatsApp a 30-minute video that if you like the contents of, we can have a chat in more detail at a later date. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, their circumstances from 3 years, now they might turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I saw it before." I said, "Absolutely. Edwin said that he talked to you about it 3 years ago, but it was just a timing issue." They can't remember what they said 3 years ago. They can't remember it was called Genistar. They can't remember, half of them won't even remember Edwin. So it doesn't matter. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, and you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person, because it is about timing. It's about luck. You're speaking to someone whose moment in time is ready for something new. They might have come home from work and gone, "Do you know what? Boss of mine, I hate that boss is a real so-and-so, and I'm going to look for something else." And then they get a phone call from us, and boom, we're home and dry. So so you're comfortable with that phone call being made to your contacts, Edwin?
Oh, absolutely. I don't have any issues with that at all.
Okay.
I'll get to work on that list tomorrow.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Can you get it done in the next 48 hours? Because, you're going to be 50 in 36, 37, 38 months time.
Correct.
We've got no time to lose here. Now time becomes a different issue. The clock is ticking on you getting that Harley Davidson, as opposed to you saying you haven't got any time. Okay. Have you heard the phrase, if you want something done, give it to a busy person?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if someone's got all the time in the world, never ask them to do anything. They can't get out of bed. They watch TV all day. A football match or a soap opera is 10 times more important, and they're too busy. So, I'm going to give you a phrase now which changed my life, and you can go onto YouTube and you can listen to a guy called Earl Nightingale.
Yeah.
Some people say he was the founding father of personal development, and if he wasn't, he was very close, because this recording is on an old 78 record from the 1930s with a crackle in the background, and it's called The Stranger's Secret. And it's 48 minutes long, the full version. All right, but there's one line in there which changed my life. Okay. And it said, "Unsuccessful people blame their lack of success on their circumstances. Unsuccessful people blame their lack of success on their circumstances. And successful people organize their circumstances so they can become successful." Now, I'm hoping that resonates with you. That doesn't make things easy. It doesn't make things easy, but it does tell you that the responsibilities on your shoulders. So I'll give you some examples of who changed their circumstances. Daryl Harper was a teacher at a North London college when I met him. And he said that, "I hate my job. I'm not had a pay rise in 10 years. I'm spending more time doing paperwork and marking books than I am actually teaching students. I want to get out." So we went to work for 2.5 years on a part-time basis. And when the summer came around, he had a 6-week shot at pretending to be full-time. So he went after it for 6 weeks, and he got to team leader. Yeah. And then the following summer, he got to senior team leader. And then 6 months later, he had over 1,000 referrals by this point. And he had saved a year's worth of bills, so that if he'd never made any money when he went full time with us, he could still pay his bills for a year. He needn't have worried. Boom, he just came. He's the only person below EVP ever to win Most Valuable Player twice, I think. I might be wrong on that. I don't know. But he's incredible. Everyone knows who Daryl Harper is, right? Now he's financially independent. He's been very smart with his money. He's he's just he's a role model. He's a leader. He's better than me in lots and lots of areas in the business. And he's like a son to me. So we love each other very much because we've been through a lot together. But the thing that he did is he organized his circumstances so he could become successful. Okay. That right there is a winning mentality. And that's about, one of the three things that when you're part-time, sorry, I've got people texting me left, right, and center at the moment because I'm on my phone. One of the three things out of circumstances, the other one is mindset and mentality. And the third one is your skills. You've got to master the scoop, the carryback, the third-party referral system, signing up IBAs, that's the follow-up interview. You've got to master those things. And that's not difficult to do. As long as you can read and learn a script, you're home and dry. And anyone who says, "Oh, I can't learn scripts," rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Every one of you's got a song that when it comes on the radio, all the words, not only all the words, all the hoo-has and the ahs and the woos and the woes, and all the different change in tonality. Everyone's got a song they can do that to, and you actually believe you're as good as the original singer. That's how crazy our brain is, right? So if you can learn a song, then you can learn a script. And
Steve,
so
you said you need mindset. It's the mindset, mentality, and skills. There was something else that you said.
Circumstances.
Circumstances is the first one.
So circumstances is the first one. Mindset or mentality. Attitude's another way of saying it, but that's got a negative connotation to it. And the third one is your skills. Those are the three things you just have to kind of master to become successful at anything. If you want to be a good parent, you've got to manage the circumstances within your home. You've got to have we all read and study a little bit of, when we have a baby, we all read the baby books, don't we? All of those, that's learning skills of being a parent. And of course, you've got to have a good attitude and a good mindset to things like changing nappies and, patience and all those other things that, children, test us with. So Genostar's no different. If you've ever seen anyone play the piano at a high level, or, my second son, George, for example, plays the guitar. Some of you who've been around a while, he played at one of the Genostar conventions. He's a fantastic guitarist to an extreme level. What people don't see is what I saw, and that was 10 years of, virtually every night, him strumming away, blisters on the ends of his fingers, frustration, and all of those things he had to go through. And now he kind of can close his eyes and he's playing away and he sounds like Eric Clapton. It's crazy. But I saw him go through 10 years of practice. And Genostar's no different. It takes time. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but it's doable. You can get rich doing it. To give you an example, Arvin Ching and Daryl over the last decade have made the Jenkins family over £2 million. Okay, that's just three individuals that are business partners of mine, and we work together all to become financially independent, and it's been a fantastic journey. There's been some bumps in the road though. There's been a few rows and a few sulks and a few you're this and you're that, and hey, that's what any relationship's like from time to time, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's doable. And here's what will happen to you, Edwin. You'll get the Harley Davidson, and then all of a sudden you'll go, well, what's the next one? Right, well, I'm gonna buy a new home. Yeah, and then
that's on the list already as well.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you say, right, well, we're gonna go on holiday to Mauritius. We're gonna do a 5-star holiday. One of the biggest goals that I'm very proud of is that we went to South Africa for 6 weeks, and we stayed at a private game reserve for Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and a couple more days after that. So, woke up in the morning and there was a giraffe in the garden. Just mind blowing.
Wow.
I saw a bull elephant. It was about I'd say about 100 meters away. This elephant was the size of a house. It was just astronomical. It was, this is not an elephant you see in the zoo. This is a wild, man elephant that's, the size of a house. It was frightening, but exhilarating. I saw 2 rhinoceros. This is fighting to the death, to gain control of the family. And it was awe-inspiring. And we saved up for 10 years to take, I think it was 28 people in the end to a safari. Yeah. So we took the whole family, went extended family, and we had the trip of a lifetime. You can do that. Whatever you want to do, you can pull it off if you break it down, reverse engineer it, and make it happen. Okay, well, we're at 10:15. I just want to finish off with one more thing. Okay, right?
Sure.
And that is, you come to the convention and you have an opportunity for your life to change. People's lives change at conventions. Now, we haven't had a convention for over 2 years. This is going to be the biggest and greatest event the company has ever had. And the desire and the already 550 tickets have sold, and that's just unprecedented with 3 months to go. The tickets are going to sell out. Get you there and get your ticket booked, and don't leave it till last minute, because your team will leave it to last minute. You book your ticket now. Now you talk to your team, and you put on the WhatsApp group for the team. You name the people who are going, and you write the names out on a list. And those then people will want to be part of that. Now all of a sudden, everyone starts going. Well, I'm going. I don't want to miss out. And everyone who joins your team, you talk to them about the convention. This is where lives change. It's a mind-blowing experience going to a convention. And I remember when I heard words like that from somebody once, and I went, yeah. And I went and I bought my ticket with about a week to go. I kind of got a second-hand ticket, I think, someone who couldn't make it. So I kind of sneaked in through the back door almost. And when it finished, my regret was, wow, I should have got some of my team here. I should have got my team here. And I promise you, if you're a brand new rep and you get 5 to 10 people there, well, say 5 people there, you'll be a team leader within 90 days of coming to the convention through the momentum and the excitement it generates. If you're a senior team leader and you get 10 to 15 people there, you'll become a group leader within 90 days. If you're a group leader, Edwin, and you get 30 to 40 people there, maybe hire a bus, get them all picked up, drop them off, take them back on the bus. People have done this. You'll be an EVP, Edwin, within 90 days. So 2 things: book your convention ticket and get that top 25 list to Anna in the next 48 hours. And if everyone that you look at on your phone or in your contact base and you go, nah, they won't be interested, don't prejudge. I promise you, you'll look, once those 25 people have been called, the ones you think will be interested won't be, and the ones that are interested, you'll think, oh, I never thought they were interested. You have no idea what's going on in their hearts or their minds or their brains. Yeah, you know, you just can't tell what's going on and what their needs are. Everyone makes that mistake. Don't prejudge. You just never know. So
sure, Steve. Quick question, Steve. What do we do with you know, there's some team members who have been and they didn't do anything from the beginning, and they've just kind of, you know, gone silent, you know, even with the £40, you know, offer and stuff like that. What do we do with them?
Only one thing you can do, and that is, well, two things actually. Number one, invite them to the convention.
Okay.
Yeah, say give it one last shot. Come to the life-changing event at the convention, see if it's going to work for you. Yeah. The second thing you got to do is you've got to get the momentum going in your team. The only thing that, see, what happens is when your team, Edwin, when they go onto the leaders board, they look, first of all, they look for their own name, even though they know it's zero. They still think, oh, maybe there's an accident. Maybe my name will end up on there. When they've obviously, you know, come to their senses and realize that was a stupid thing to think, they then look for your name.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they see your name riding high. They see you succeeding. They won't want to be left behind, I promise you.
Absolutely.
They'll all of a sudden start thinking, oh my God, I'm going to miss out. The speed of the team, the speed of the crew is the speed of the leader. So if they're doing nothing, it would suggest you're doing nothing. You're a great leader. They're copying you. Okay. So you get moving, they'll get moving. Yeah, it's like, have you ever driven a car and you've got a backseat driver?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
Not doing anything.
All they're doing is complaining about your driving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have them sat in the front beside you, and the only way that happens is they've got to see the train leave the station and feel like they're a part of something that's moving. You've got to make the thing move. Yeah, I know, and do you know what? I spend most of my time answering that question that you've asked me. That is my daily job. Steve, what do I do with the people who are doing nothing? Well, it's easier to give birth than it is to raise the dead. Yeah, get some new people, and that does help a few, few people to come back. But nothing else will. Keep in contact with them. Send them a birthday message. Love them. Don't get frustrated with them. Invite them to the big events, and maybe you'll have a Chingdala cruise in there or an Arvin Burgos that comes back after a while. But just stay in relationship with them, but don't push them. Don't. They know. Yeah. Maybe get a top 25 list off them, and say, hey, do you want some money? I can do all the work. We'll split the business with you 50-50, and you'll get half of what you would have got if you'd done it yourself. So maybe that, but don't hold your breath, mate. Don't hold your breath.
Sure, I hear you.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Steve. I think Akos has a question.
Okay. I know that the time is fast spent, and I will say that thank you so much for your time, Steve. And I think you have been a blessing to us. And I'm also pleading that if we can get more of you, because today Edwin stole the whole show with his bike. So some of us really had a lot of questions, because I wanted to ask about what happens when you get stuck. And
sure.
Roger always says that we should let the main thing be our main thing, and recruitment bring compounding. But I've realized that with me, I'm a bit stuck, especially with recruitment. And it's really a big problem. But I don't know whether if we can have you again, because I know a lot of people also have questions around being stuck. Because I could see that our base shop, most of us are a bit stuck with recruitment and also writing.
You remind me of a lady called Emily in my base shop. Okay. And she said the very same thing to me about 3 weeks ago. And I said, can you put together a list of 12 names? And she said, yes, of people who you think might be interested. Maybe you've spoken to them before and they've said no, maybe, and she said, well, what are you going to do with them? I said, well, and I gave them that exact same script that I said earlier. But I said, you have to be with me when I make the call. So we did the call. She was on Zoom. I was making the call. I did that script you heard me said. And out of the 12 people, how many people do you think said no? Have a guess.
2 or 3?
No, 0.
None.
Wow.
Yeah. It was something like 3 or 4 didn't pick up. And the rest said, yeah, I'll listen to the video. Now, I do know that some of them were saying, yes, I'll listen to the video. And they were lying just to get me off the phone. Okay. But that's okay. Because they're going to be curious. They won't be able to help themselves. They'll go, oh, that video. Oh, I'm going to press the button. They press the button and, oh, no, it started. And then they go, oh, financial education. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So now, in the last 2 weeks, I've made over 300 phone calls. I call between 20 to 30 a day. Here's another question for you, Akusa. How many of those do you think were rude to me out of 300 people? Any guess?
None.
Yeah. Actually, there was one. There was one lady that said, I was working shifts last night. There was a bit of an expletive and she put the phone down on me. But, you know, that's 1 out of 300. I'm okay with that. Now, yeah. I just, you know, she was grumpy. She worked all night and I woke her up. Yeah. Why she answered, I don't know. She should have just turned over and gone back to sleep. But anyway, I'm okay with that. You should be okay with that. Yeah, don't get upset. As far as I've all the research that I've put in over the last, you know, God knows how many years, that I've never known anyone draw blood from rejection or someone being rude or saying no. I've never seen anyone bruised, as far as I know, either. It doesn't hurt. No, I promise you, it doesn't hurt because all you do is say next.
Yeah.
Next, and move on. So can you get a list of 25 people together? Oh, well, let me finish off the Emily story. So when she saw that I made those phone calls and there was no blood spilt, no bruising involved, she then made a list of 68 people for me.
Wow.
And she said, I didn't even know I knew 68 people. So, and we got 3 follow-up interviews booked for her this Sunday. All right. So
okay. Based on the 12 people that you called.
Say again?
Is it based on the 12 people that you called for her?
I think I've called about 24 in total now. I've not got through half the list yet, but yeah, you know, because I've got other people I'm calling for as well. I can't, you know, I've got over 300 people I haven't rung yet from top 25 lists that my people are giving me.
Wow.
So the people who put their top 25 list together first are going to get, you know, those are going to be called first. So what have you got to lose? Yeah, promise you it could change your life. So I'll finish. Kusa, what is fun to you? You said you joined Genostar because you wanted fun. What's fun to you?
Fun is going on holidays with my family.
Okay, where would you like to go?
I think the kids want to go to Paris this year, so.
Okay, is that to go to Disneyland?
Yeah.
Okay, so go on to their website and print off pictures of Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. You know, print them off and put them up in their bedrooms.
I will do that.
I'm going to hold you to this now. Right? I want your children's names and telephone numbers. I want to ring them and say, you're going to Disneyland. I'm joking. But what Sam Lee did this with you know, with his family, they put pictures of Disneyland up. I remember when it happened, and you know, and it happened. You know, I remember when they put the pictures up and they said, right, okay, Daddy's going to go to work and we're going to make it happen.
I believe that. I know it's possible.
But you've got some homework. You've got to do your research. You've got to work out what does it cost for the flights? What does it cost to book the hotel? no point going to Disneyland unless you stay in the Disneyland hotel. Okay, it's a different experience. It's more expensive, but it takes the whole experience up by about 2,000%.
Wow. I was not thinking about Disneyland hotel. I thought I'll get any cheaper hotel around the place.
No. That is no. You got to do in the hotel where you have breakfast and they've got, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are serving you breakfast, and
wow.
you will cry your eyes out. You're worried the kids are hearing this, aren't you?
No, they are sleeping. It's my husband who is around.
Okay. Honestly, you will cry your eyes out when they see Mickey Mouse, because their face is just unbelievable.
Wow.
You will never forget it. It's a trip of a lifetime. And I mean, you've made a decision now. Emotionally, you're in, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe you need to do a top 68 list like Emily did.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
That's all right. Listen, we'll talk some more. I've got Jeff Letts. He's been ringing me for the last 15 minutes, so I better ring him back.
I tell you what, Steve, what we'll do now, we'll book into the convention.
Great. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book in a convention, get your pictures done, and get your top 25 list done, all right? Or top 68.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure thing.
All right, love you all. I gotta go. I'll see you all soon, all right?
Thanks so much, Steve. Really, really awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
bye-bye.
you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Do you know, I was thinking today about conventions that I've been to with Roger, and this joint experience that we're having over Zoom together now, and that we've had, having our own individual connections with Roger. Let's go to the convention. Let's go together. Let's be together in those downtimes, when the convention has breaks and things like that. I really would love you to be there. I am booked in and I'm going, and I'd love you to be there with me.
Sure thing, Anna. Sure thing.
Yeah. So let's post it. It's getting late now, so we'll say goodbye now. Post that you're booked in. Do it tonight, and we will be in touch over the next 48 hours about the top 25 lists.
Cool. You may want to just put the link again on the Rogerlins.
Okay.
Anyway, it's on Telegram, isn't it? So
yeah,
Massive Attack, so you can get it from there.
Perfect. Okay. Good night, everybody. Can't wait to see you soon.
Good night. Thank you.
We didn't see Reggie's face. We didn't see Tasty's face. It's not fair.
Most of your time, but it's worth it. Tasty, we've missed you. Let's see your face.
We didn't see Tasty's face. We didn't see. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Tasty is busy. He's busy today.
I have a midnight deadline, so I'm typing away my report. So I was listening and typing away. Yeah.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad I came.
Brilliant.
It almost slipped my mind. I was too busy. But thank you for having me, and it was nice having you all.
Great.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night, Patricia.
Good night.
Patricia, I thought she was sleeping.
What do you mean? What did you say?
I thought you were sleeping or you were frozen.